Hi everyone and welcome back. In this video we need to focus on one of the most important add-ons that comes with Blender. It's called Node Wrangler. Let's see how can we activate it. Let's go to the edit and then let's go to the preferences. We have this menu. Let's go to the add-on section and we need to use the search bar. Just type WR and it's right here, Node Wrangler. Just activate it and then let's go to this icon and save preferences and let's exit. Now we just activated the Node Wrangler and we need to use this node a lot here when we work with the shader editor. Alright, let's see what we have here. We have two nodes. This one is called node and this one is called node, and each node have its name. It's written right here. This one is called principled BSDF and this one material output. The material output is the final destination. When you create your material and when your material become complex, you need to add too many nodes here, and all of these nodes end right here. So this node is applied on the object that you select. For example, if I select this one, the node for this object is this one right here, and we have output node for this one as well. So this one is the final destination, and as you see it has just input and it doesn't have an output. For example, the principal BSDF have one output and too many inputs here. You can connect another nodes here or images, and here in this principled BSDF this node will give you the final result through this node, and you need to connect to the output to see the result here on the mesh. We have a lot of nodes here. If you go to the add, here we have the search bar. You can search quickly for any node you like, and here we have categories. We have the input and we have a lot of nodes here. For the input we have the bevel, we have, let's go to the add, we have a lot of things, light path, and as you see, some of these nodes they doesn't have an input, just output. For example, this light path doesn't have an input, just output, just give you output, and the bevel has an input and output. Let's go to the add. We have an output, the material output, this one right here, and we have two kind of output, by the way. We have the output for the objects, the mesh that we have here, and we have an output for the environment, and we will talk about that later. If you switch from object to environment, you will see that I have an output for the environment, for the background. This one is called world output. Let's go back to the object. Let's go to the add. If you want to add, here we have the shader section. We have a lot of choices here: the texture, the color, the vector and converter, script, group, and layout. Alright, let's see why we need to activate Node Wrangler. If I have principal BSDF, for example, if I need to add an image texture, I need to go to the add and then search for image texture, or I need to go to the texture and add image texture from here. Here we have the image texture, and I need, for example, to add a mapping. So I can go to the add, or I can hit Shift A to open the add menu and search for mapping, MAP, this one right here. Now I have the mapping. And for example, if I want to add the coordinate, texture coordinate, let's go to the add menu, hit Shift A and go to search and just type core texture coordinate, this one. So as you see, when I needed to go to the add menu a couple of times just to create those image and mapping and texture coordinates. But if you activate Node Wrangler, you can hit Control T on the principal BSDF, and this shortcut could create this node for you quickly. And I just gonna give you example. Now I have the principal BSDF selected. I will hit Control T, and as you see, the Node Wrangler created the three nodes immediately, and it and connects them as well. So this is one of this is why we need to activate Node Wrangler, and there is a lot of shortcut comes with Node Wrangler. We will talk about most of them. If you have the image texture, for example, if you delete the mapping and texture coordinate, and you have the image texture, you can hit Control T, and Node Wrangler will not repeat the image texture again. Just gonna add the texture coordinate and the mapping. And if you delete this one, and if you hit Control T, let's select this mapping and hit Control T, it will create just the texture coordinate. So I think you got the idea. If you didn't have all of these nodes, and if you select the principled and hit Control T, it will create the three nodes for you automatically. Alright, let's go to another example. Let's delete those first. By the way, if you want to delete those, you just need to left click and drag to create the selection like this. Select them and just hit delete from the keyword, and they will be deleted. Okay, one of the important shortcuts that comes with Node Wrangler, if you add any node, and we just need to see the effect on of the node itself before we connect it anywhere. For example, I will hit Shift A to open the add menu, and I will go to the texture, and I will add, for example, Voronoi texture here. If I want to see the effect of the Voronoi, I need to connect the color to the base color so I can see it right here. But I can't see it because I deactivated the use node. You can activate it from here to see the effect of the principled, or you can activate it from here as well, use node. Alright, now I just activated the use node, and now I can see the effect, but I got the effect after I made the connection. There is a very nice way if you want to do this. I will delete that connection. You can hold Control and then right click and cut it by this knife to cut it. Okay, what if I need to see the effect without making any connection? I just need to see it quickly. You can hit Control Shift and left click, and now I can see the effects immediately. When you do that, when you hit Control Shift left click, Node Wrangler will create an emission node, and it will connect it directly to the surface, so you can see the effect here in the 3D viewport. And if you hit Control Shift on the same node again, Node Wrangler will tweak the connection from the distance to color to the position, if you want to swap between them and see the effect for each output here. If you want to connect this back, you can hit Control Shift, you can hit Control Shift and left click on this to connect it. And you noticed by accident, when I moved the principal BSDF, you notice that when I moved it, I got a connection. Let's do that again. I will hit Control Shift on this one. When you move the node, and when the node hover over on any line, connection line, it will be connected. For example, if I add this one right here, we got a connection from the Voronoi texture to the base color and to the viewer, but this connection is not correct because here we have a red line that tells you that we got this connection is not correct, and that's not gonna work. So I will Control Z to cancel that connection. Alright, if you want to switch a node to another node, for example, here we have the Voronoi texture and I need to change it to another node. You can go to the add and go to the texture, and you can add, for example, any node here, for example the kicker, and connect it again like this. But there's another way, it's fast. You can change the Voronoi texture to another node. Just select the Voronoi texture, for example this node, and then hit Shift S to open the Tweak menu, and from this menu you can go to another node and tweak it to checker. If I click this option, the Voronoi texture will switch to checker. So this is a very quick way if you want to switch the node and change them. Alright, let's connect the principal BSDF again to the material output. I will hit Ctrl Shift left click, and there we go, it's connected. If you want to connect any node to another one, for example, if I want to connect the color to the base color, I just need to hover over here and hit left click and take this line to this dot right here, and now we got a connection between these, and you can see the effect. And I can connect this to the next one, to this one and this one as well, and I can connect them to all of these nodes right here. If you want to cut the connection, you can hover over and hit left click and move it away, and it will be deleted like this. Or you can cut it. You can hold Ctrl and right click and move the knife to the lines that you want to cut them, like this one as well, and I terminated the connection here. There's another way of connection, it's called lazy connect. If you press and hold Alt, you can hit right click, hold the right click, and move the mouse from this node to this node. If you do that, you will get a quick connection. For example, I just connected the color to the base color. I can do that again to make another connection, but as you see, this depends on the colors. When I made the first connection, that connect the yellow dot to the yellow dot, and when I made the second one, connect this one, and if I do that again like this, the connection will be from the color to the emission. Okay, but what if I need to make a connection from the color to the surface directly without but by using the lazy connect? Let's cut all of these connection. I will hit and hold Ctrl with right click and cut all of these. You can hit Shift and then Alt and right click. If you do that, you will have this menu, and inside this menu here we have the color and the factor for this node right here. Let's do that again. So I need to connect the color to the base color, to the subsurface, to whatever dots we have here. For example, I will connect the color to the base color, and there we have a connection. Let's do it again. I will hold Shift Alt and hold right click from this node to this node, and I will connect this time the factor. It means this factor to whatever node we have here. So let's do that again. Shift Alt, right click from this to this, and I will connect the factor to the subsurface, and now we got a connection between those. So this is another way if you want to connect. If you don't like that, you can grab this dot to this dot and this dot to this dot directly, and I think that's faster. Alright, let's cut those. Hold Ctrl, right click, and move the knife like this to cut them. If you have a lot unused node, for example, all of these nodes, they didn't have any connection with the principal and the output, so we don't need them because they are not affecting anything, and we need to delete them. You can hit Alt X to do this. And if you do that, you will have this small menu tells you delete unused nodes. Just hit left click on it and they will be deleted. Let's connect one of these and let's see what's gonna happen. Connect this one to this one and let's do that again. Alt X delete, and all of the unused node deleted except this one. Let's cut the connection. I'll leave this one. I will hit Control Z again to bring back the other node. When your scene become uh, too complicated and when your material become complicated, you need to organize the nodes. We have a frame here. We can add multiple nodes inside the frame and give that frame a specific name just to recognize them. If you want to do this, just select the node that you want. For example, I want to grab those and I will hit Control J to put them inside the frame. So now we have this frame, and inside the frame, this frame, we have this node. When you move one node, the frame will be extended automatically and it will become big. When you grab another node and put it inside the group, the frame will contain it. And now when you move the frame, all of these will move with the frame. You can give this frame a name if you like. Just select the frame and hit F2 and add whatever name you like. And there we go. Now we changed the name for the frame. If you want to take one of these nodes out of the frame, you can hit Alt P to take this out. Let's do that again. Grab this one, Alt P. And if you want to delete the frame itself, just select it and hit delete and it will be deleted. If you want to organize the nodes, if you want to align them, for example, let's duplicate this one. I just gonna hit Shift D to duplicate this one here and Shift R to repeat that duplication again and again. If we have a nodes like this, for example, you can grab them like this and hit Shift and equal mark to align them like this. And this kind of alignment is depend on how they laid out here inside the shader editor. For example, if these nodes aligned like this and you want to align them again, you can grab them like this and hit shifts and equal sign to align them to this direction. When you activate the Node Wrangler, you have the ability to use a shortcut to mix between the nodes. For example, let's duplicate this one, the principled. Let's add another one right here. So this one is from the shader section, the principled BSDF, and let's grab this one from the texture section. Let's grab this. I will cut the connection here, and let's grab this one. Let's hit Shift D to duplicate this one here, and another one here below it. I need to make a connection between those. If you want to do this manually, you need to go to the add and you need to go to the shader and, for example, add shader and put this one right here and connect this to this, and after that bring this one right here and connect this to this. So as you see, it's time consuming. It needs a lot of time to achieve this, but there's a faster way. Let's cut the connection here and let's delete this one and let's connect this back to the surface. You can hit Control Shift and right click from this node to this node, and Node Wrangler will create a connection and will add the mix shader or add shader here. By the way, we have the mix shader right here. We have the mix, this add, and this one is the mix shader. So when you do that, Node Wrangler will add the mix shader between the shaders, the node that comes from the shader section. But if we have nodes comes from, for example, the texture, we have another kind of mix. Is called mix RGB. Work with these kind of nodes. So I will Control Shift right click from this one to this one and Node Wrangler created this node and connect them for me. So this is fast way if you want to make a connection between the nodes. Okay, let's delete unused node, Alt X, and delete them. And let's delete this principal BSDF. I will grab this one and delete it. Let's delete this one. And I need to delete this node right here, and I need to keep the connection between this dot and this one as well. If you grab this and hit delete, you will lose the connection and you need to reconnect it again. There's a fast way if you want to do this. I will hit Ctrl Z just to bring back this node. You can grab the node and you can hit Ctrl X to delete the node and keep the connection. Let's move this one right here. And by the way, let's add some nodes here. I just need to talk about something. Any node I just gonna add, for example, which one? The image texture. When you hit G, you can move, and the R for rotate, it's working here as well, and scale. If you want to scale the nodes and make them close to each other by using the scale, that's gonna work as well. So the transform tool is working here as well. Alright, I'm not gonna make this video long. There's a lot of shortcut here, but I just need to talk about the most used shortcut. And throughout the course, maybe we can add a new shortcut to learn more and more, and that's gonna make the process a bit faster when you work inside the shader editor. So I will end this video and see you next.